Kobe, I just have one question for you.
Yeah, what's that, Barry?
Yakuza or civilian? What's going on, guys? My name is Barry.
And this is Kobe.
And this is Who Watches This.
Theme music.
Oh, man. So we are starting a new little segment that we should start before the movie trailer. So, Kobe, do you want to...
Yeah, so going forward, we're going to start mostly because we were inspired by Barry's French press last week. We're going to start pairing every movie with a cup of coffee, some kind of special flavored coffee, some kind of fun and exciting creamer. I don't know what it is, but so we have I don't know. We have a little bag of K-Cups here. I don't know what we're going to start with.
Well, what do you think this movie should be paired with? It's like a wine.
We do have a vanilla cappuccino.
Oh, this movie is anything but vanilla.
That's
a great little polar opposites, right?
Right. Oh, we have a caramel cappuccino.
Oh yeah, there you go. that's the stuff right there. And so before we start talking about what movie, we'll go with our movie trailer for the week. And this movie starts off Takashi Miike movie, Say No More. An orphan boxer who gets diagnosed with a brain tumor. A girl sold by her father into prostitution to pay off his debts. A criminal who's not so good at being a criminal. And a crooked cop who just gets along for the ride. This is 2019's First Love.
That about covers it, yeah.
Yeah, this movie is this movie is all over the place, but it's pretty on par for a Takashi Miike movie. Wouldn't you agree?
I do, yeah.
I was watching it with a friend before Kobe came over, and I was just trying to explain to him that Takashi Miike has over 500 movies.
I was right.
And this is, I think, the third film that we got to do on the podcast that's by him.
Right. Yep.
We had Blade of the Immortal.
Yeah, I actually didn't notice that it was him until I was because I was looking this up, and like under the Japanese name, there's a bunch of movies that all basically translate to First Kiss or First Love. Yeah. And so I was like, oh, I gotta make sure I watch the right one. And then I saw like, if you like this movie, you'll also like, and it's all his other movies. And I'm like, oh, that's the one.
Right. Like, like things like old classics like Sukiyaki Dango. Or sorry, Sukiyaki Django. Or Ichi the Killer, which Heath Ledger had watched and what inspired him to do the Joker for the Dark Knight movie.
Do the cut thing?
Yeah, well, if you notice, like his costume design in Ichi the Killer, it's purple. It's very reminiscent of Heath Ledger's performance in The Dark Knight. So Takashi Miike has a huge library of movies that you guys should all check out if you've never delved into those realms. But
Zebra Man.
Audition, which is a horror
Audition.
classic.
I own that.
Yeah. So yeah, plenty of movies that you guys could really get into. He even has a couple things on Amazon. That's Amazon Prime Original, which is Chemical Hearts. Freaking Dark Water is another Japanese horror classic. Yeah, his library is so deep. But let's get talking about the movie. The movie it's kind of all over the place, which is easy to say as my friend who was going to be on the episode was just like, this is too much for a first timer, and he's not really a movie person anyway, so just to get him to sit down and watch a movie was a task within itself.
I know we should have got him on like a first one with like Fred Claus, something like that.
Oh, one of the Christmas classics, Fred Claus with Vince Vaughn.
Yeah.
Oh man, but yeah. So the way we're gonna talk about this movie, we're gonna go ahead and describe all the characters in this movie, because I feel like that's gonna be the easiest way to proceed with the film. And then we'll talk about parts of the movie that we just generally liked, right? So we have Leo, who is the orphaned boxer,
Right, main character.
Well,
One of 4 main characters, pretty much.
yeah, but so Leo, he's a decent boxer from what we've seen at the beginning of the film, but it looks like his heart really isn't into it.
Right, yeah, his coach yells at him a lot for not being
Excited.
dedicated, yeah.
Or no, he's yelling at him because he doesn't have any passion.
Yeah, if you don't have any passion, you're eventually going to just start losing.
Yeah, and it kind of happens because as he's in a boxing match, he gets hit in a way that like it shouldn't have knocked him down, maybe. But
right, like a knockdown, but it knocks him out.
Yeah,
and so
he's like conscious, but he can't get up.
Right.
So he gets an MRI, and he finds out that he actually is diagnosed with a tumor that's close to the base of his spine.
Right.
Which is particularly a hard place to get it out, right? So
yeah,
he's wandering around Tokyo.
And the doctor's like, yeah, it's probably that you going down was probably because of the tumor, and you would definitely never, ever boxing again.
Right. So like the only thing that he has in his life is gone. Right. And now he's gonna die. So
yep.
That's leaving him lost throughout Tokyo. We have Yuri, or as earlier in the movie, she's known as Monica.
Right.
Who we get introduced to her. She's kind of sloppily on this futon. She's dragging her ass all over the apartment, and then she has a hallucination of an old friend named Ryuji.
Right. And like starting off, I'm like, is this like a ghost movie? Like, is this? But yeah, but just a hallucination.
Yeah, well, like the thing that makes people think it's a ghost movie is because something all of a sudden fills up her sheets, and we don't get to see what it is until a little bit later on to the movie. So you get kind of freaked out. But then, as she's banging on the door where Ryuji went into, a girl comes out, like smacks her around a little bit, and we find out that she's like a drug addict.
Yeah.
I think from this situation, you don't even need to know what's happening. You already know that she's like a prostitute and she's an addict.
Right. She's a prostitute because her dad's in debt and basically sold her to the mob.
Yeah, sold her to the mob to pay off his debts. And I think from what we can learn as we watch this movie is that she was probably like sexually molested as well.
Yeah.
Because later on this is a little bit skipping a little bit forward, but when her and Leo meet up, they're before she meets up with Leo, the what's it called? The sheet figure is in the middle of the street. And then it unsheaths itself, and it's a man in tidy whities.
Fruit of the looms.
Oh man! And so yeah, that I think from what you can take away from that is she has a horrid past, right?
Right. Yep.
We get introduced to Kase, the criminal.
Yep.
That's working in this organization. And he's tired of being in this situation, right?
But he has this elaborate plan on how he's like basically he feels that the yakuza is run its course and it is no longer what it used to be, and he has this super elaborate plan that he's going to take over by letting everybody in the yakuza kill each other off.
Yeah, like because they have this rival Chinese gang.
Yeah,
that's there. So he's like, I don't want to be caught up in the middle of this. And his plan sounds solid on paper.
It does. It doesn't sound bad. Yeah,
but when you hire people that are inept, like we'll talk about Rooftop Guy.
Yeah, that guy.
And then and so a lot of his plans throughout this movie, it just really bungles because he's not that great of a criminal.
Right. He's like he's the buffoon, but he knows that like if he fakes being really mad, people like seem to respect him. So like, just like, he's like about to cry, and then just all of a sudden he screams, and everybody's like, "Oh, yes, sir." And he's like, "Oh, okay."
Oh my God, he must know what he's doing.
Right.
He's so angry right now. Right. No, and then so and then we get introduced to Otohime, which is the cop, the crooked cop that he's working with, right?
Right.
So they unfold this plan where they're going to steal the drugs from the yakuza that they're with, that Akase is with.
Right.
Right, from the pimp that's keeping Monica at bay.
Yeah.
And then so they're going to rob him and then blame Monica, as the cop is supposed to take Monica away for who's the person who ran away with the drugs.
Right.
And Akase is supposed to go to jail for an assault because he drinks too much anyways.
Yeah, so he's going to hand the drugs off to the cop, who's going to basically just hide them.
Right.
Because no one's going to expect the cop to have drugs. He's going to get into just like a bar fight, beat somebody up, go to jail for a couple years. And he's assuming that in the couple years he's gone, the Chinese will either take over or the Yakuza will kill each other off in this like internal fighting. But then he'll just be able to come out, sell the drugs, be rich.
Yeah,
be the kingpin.
Yeah, get a nice little nest egg going around,
yeah.
Right? And so this plan sounds solid on paper. Right, but things don't go as they should, because Kase, as he's supposed to go take the drugs from Yasu, he's supposed to tase him from the back. He gets caught by a doorknob of all things, and he ends up shooting.
But you know it's oddly realistic, because I could see if like it's your first time like assaulting somebody like that, and you're not really expecting, and your sleeve gets caught on the doorknob. You fling the taser across the room. Yeah, I could see that happen. That would be me in my first mugging.
Can you imagine Colby mugging somebody? He's like, "Give me all the cheese. That's a beautiful looking Parmesan wheel you got there."
Or would I beat them with a Parmesan wheel?
Oh, that's his weapon. That's his MO. He's like, "Sir, there were crumbs of Parmesan all over the crime scene."
Just like a long tube sock with a big mozzarella ball at the end. This is my morning star.
It's a frozen mozzarella ball. Right? And then he sprinkles it like Salt Bae as he leaves. Oh man, no, and so they do this, right? They're starting. Kase is already fucked up, and he's being followed by somebody from the Yakuza gang that he's in. Right. The girlfriend of the guy who's holding the drugs, Yasu, is Julie, and she gets She gets abducted by a immigrant.
Right.
And while they're at the rooftop, he's trying to do his part of the plan, and he's like, "Take off your clothes, only the bottoms, though."
Because he has a crush on Monica, because he was with her. He had her as a prostitute one night, and so he has a crush on her, and it's like this weird, like, in love with her thing. So now he wants to have revenge on the pimp and his madam or whatever, for mistreating Monica.
Right, but he's telling Julie to take off her clothes, but only the bottoms. I don't understand that. But Julie's quick on her feet. She's a very Harley Quinn like, because she touches her vagina, gets some juices on it. It's so bad. Well, okay, so she extracts heaven's nectar.
She tantalizes him
with the little taste. It's ridiculous saying it as much as it was watching it. But he gets tempted. He goes to suck on her finger, and she just beats the dog shit out of this guy.
Yeah, she's
in her teddy bear underwear. In her teddy bear underwear. Oh man. And so she goes back to the Yakuza. She explains to them what happened, and they're trying to figure out this whole situation. Kase is supposed to take her home, And things start to unravel even more. And then so they find out that there's what's it called? Monica runs away from the cop because she hallucinates her dad in the middle of the street.
Right.
She actually bumps into one of our main protagonists, Leo.
Right.
Well, I guess he's really the only good person in here. So he is our protagonist, and he knocks out the cop because all he sees is a woman being chased by a man in a mask.
Right. Yeah.
Knocks him out one punch style. It's awesome, and then he finds out. I was like, oh shit, it's a cop.
Yeah, and part of it is like this, like, well, I'm gonna die, so why not step into this possible mugging? And if this guy's crazy and kills me, I'm gonna die. I have a tumor, so I'm gonna be dead anyway soon. So
you might as well do something that's more for somebody else, right? Because he does visit a what's it called, a psychic,
right? Yep.
And he's
the guy
telling
reading
him
the sticks,
and he's telling him all the wrong stuff. He's like, "Oh, you fight, but you fight for yourself more than you fight for others. You should try that." And he's like, "Well, I'm a boxer." He's like, "Oh, except for that." and then he asks like, what about my health? And he's like, "Oh, you're so healthy."
Yep.
And he's like, "You're fucking bullshit."
Quack.
So he's obviously he's sad. He's gloomy. Anyone would be if they get a death sentence from their doctor, right? So he runs away with Monica, and their whole situation is that they're kind of just running away not running away, but he's trying to help her figure her shit out.
Right.
He's like, "Who's this Ryuji that you keep hallucinating?" And he's like, "I wish I could see what you're seeing, but I don't want to do drugs."
And she does understand that she's kind of coming off the drugs, and as she comes off the drugs, she hallucinates. So,
yeah. And it's like a side effect of the drugs that she's doing. So that's their whole situation, that they're just trying to figure her stuff out. Meanwhile, we have Kase fucking up his entire plan. He knocks out Julie. Because she doesn't.
Yeah, and the original mugging, when he was supposed to just tase the guy and then take the drugs and run off, becomes full scale, apartment battle, and he ends up shooting him and killing him.
Yeah. And so they figure out, there is a tracker on Monica, because Kase's whole plan was to make it look like it was Monica's plan all along.
Right. Yeah.
But then she doesn't want to give it up, so he knocks her out by stop go on the car, so her head bangs off the dashboard and knocks her out. And then as he brings her to her apartment, he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna put you in a nice little place right next to your dead boyfriend." And this old lady comes out, and he's like, "Who the fuck are you? Why does she have a roommate?" And then we get a nice up close shot of her saying "Robert" and him checking the fuck out of this old lady, and she dies. she blinks twice and then just dies.
Yeah, and then he doesn't know what to do, really, because like this was a unintentional murder here.
Yeah. And so he sets up this Home Alone style trap.
Was ingenious.
It was that until the part where you find out that he didn't tie up Julie to anything. And so she just woke up the moment the fire touches her skin.
Yeah.
We're like, and me and my friend were like, "Oh, why would she wake up?" Like, I was like, well, I think, sort of that outward stimulation would arise you from that situation, right?
Right, yeah, because you usually get like somebody who's like out and you throw a bucket of cold water on them and they're like, "Oh, I'm up.
Yeah, exactly. So,
same kind of thing. You burn, you stick a fiery match between some sleeping person's toes. They're up.
But yeah, she wakes up and she nopes out of there so fast before the explosion happens.
Yeah.
And in her regards, right? She could have been like a main character in another movie. Because she is out there for revenge at this point. And so Yeah, so what's it called? So really, where all these characters meet up at this point of the movie is where they finally get to Monica's hometown or home, like childhood home, and this is where they get caught between the Chinese gang and Leo shoots both of them.
Right.
One of them gets ran over by our criminal and our crooked cop.
Yeah.
And
and like in between when they were blaming it on Monica, somehow, when he gets the phone call that Monica has escaped, he turns it into the Chinese have taken Monica.
Yeah.
And so then it's like, now we have to kill the Chinese too. And so like in his head is like, okay, this works with the plan, because now it's both mobs are taking out each other and I can just disappear.
Yeah. And and it's funny because one of the mob bosses from the Yakuza finally just got out.
Yeah.
And his rival is this guy named One-Armed Wong. Which, I was like, when I on my first run through this movie, I was like, man, I really hope this guy doesn't have one arm, so it'd just be hilarious to me. But no, he has one arm, and he's
pretty badass for
right?
one armed. Yeah.
Right. And so what's it called? As Leo and Yuri, we find out her original name gets caught up by Kase and Otohime. Otome, whatever, the crooked cop. They're trying to run away, but then at this point, Julie has gone back to the gang, told them it was Kase that orchestrated this whole situation, and so they're there to stop them, and she gets a stab in on Kase, before they even back up, and Yuri is trying to get to the drugs. And what's it called? Kase takes it all away. And as they're backing up, there's now a Chinese gang behind them. And he gets shot somehow in the stomach. And it gets the drugs all over the place. And Yuri is trying to gather all the drugs on his dick. And he's just like, oh, if that's what you wanted, you should have just said so.
But he gets like shot like through the bag of drugs. Yeah. So then he is like
super high. Yeah, throughout those last like 30 minutes, you could just constantly see him rub the drugs on his wound. Yeah. So he gets more high. It's like little micro doses.
Right. And it's like he's like, I'm going to rub it on here to numb it. But yeah. But then he gets shot again. He's like, I didn't even feel it.
He's like, oh man, I'm feeling so good right now. Yeah. So we have this whole brawl in we have a chase in a garage. Which ends with our four protagonists, going into this supermarket.
Okay, yeah, I was thinking it was like a Home Depot kind of thing. But I was kind of...
just like a general store, right?
Yeah.
And then so we have this huge battle in this supermarket. People are dying left and right. Julie finally gets her revenge on Kase being able to behead him, but then getting shot by a Chinese gang member. And this, this bag of drugs are getting passed around, like switching hands so many times. We have the two mob bosses, One-Armed Wong and the Japanese Yakuza boss. They have a good old sword fight battle.
Right. Yep.
And then we have Leo finding out that he actually doesn't have a brain tumor.
Right, because throughout this, I guess. Oh no, his phone died.
Yeah, his phone died.
So
he got a little bit of juice left though to turn it back on, and the
finds out there's like 4 messages from his doctor apologizing that they were looking at the wrong person's CAT scans.
Yeah, could you sue for that?
He caught it pretty quick.
Like a misdiagnosis. But then think about the culture in Japan, right? There's suicide is it's sad to say, but it's like common.
Right. Oh yeah, and you could tell how much more panicked each phone message was that I was assuming that that's what the doctor was thinking.
That's what he's like, oh my God, I have to call this guy and make sure he doesn't do anything brash.
Yeah.
Because, once you get kind of that news, the way that Leo's been acting this whole situation, he's kind of living on that devil may cry type of attitude. He's like,
Yeah, especially when he leaves the doctor's office and he's just like, it's not worth operating on. That's not worth the chance. I'm just gonna just let it kill me.
right. So for him to find this out during this whole situation, his hands start shaking because he's still healthy, just like the fortune teller said.
Right. So all these super aggressive and noble things he's done because he's like, why not? I'm gonna die anyway. Now it's all like the real world has kicked in. He's like, holy crap, I'm in the middle of this gang war and I might actually die.
Right. But the what's it called? He meets up with one of the Chinese gang members that he actually works in this Chinese restaurant for.
Right.
And they run into each other and she's asking him, "Are you Yakuza or are you civilian?" And he's like, "I'm a civilian." And then, he's like, he tries to leave with Yuri. She won't let him leave because they feel like Yuri is like the center of this whole situation.
Yeah.
But then, the guy that was taking her away gets caught up, so she leaves, and then Leo takes Yuri with him. And then before he leaves, he has this realization. He's like, all the things that I've done to this point, I can keep doing them because I think that's the person who I really was all this time.
Right. Yep.
And so, and you see the scene earlier in the movie where she's like, "I'm so disappointed by the Yakuza. They have no honor. Like I thought, like how all these movies and stuff had always portrayed them." And I think she sees him as like someone who's like very honorable. She's like, the most important human attribute is humanity, which he's displaying, putting his life on the line for this girl that he barely even knows.
Right. Yep.
And so, we had this huge fight escalation, right? We have the mob boss, the Japanese mob boss ends up killing one-armed Wong. And Leo is able to defend Yuri against one of the Chinese mobsters. Like, he beats him to exhaustion. And and as everything winds down, the Japanese mob boss comes over. And he's like, "You can still drive, right?" As they try to escape, and then we get the scene of them in the car. He's like, "All you got to do is trust Japanese automation or automobiles, whatever, right?"
Right.
And so as they're driving, this is I was telling my friend, this is how you control a budget, because this stunt, this is pretty unreal, right? He drives off the third floor of a garage, and it goes into a full animation of the car leaping over all these police cars and able to run away.
It totally reminded me of the movie Tank Girl. There's like that whole like there's like the beginning, and then like when she gets the tank and the plane, and then they like bust out. It's all like animated, and then once they escape, then it goes back to like real life. That was just like that.
Yeah. And so as they're trying to escape, though, we find out that the mob boss is actually a big boxing fan. And he's like, "Oh, man, I can't believe you got knocked down by such a weak punch. What are you going to do now, huh? You're going to quit boxing and join us in the underworld?" But he's like, "No, all I want to do is box." And so he's like, "All right, well, I don't want you to get caught driving a Yakuza car. So throw all this good drugs out." And then pull over, and then I'll take over, and you guys just hide.
Yep.
And so he does. And as he's driving over this bridge, he's like, "Oh, the sunlight is not good for the wicked." And
because he got run through with the sword.
Yeah.
So he had a good gut stab. So yeah, he
was pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
But no, and so Leo and Yuri, they end up taking this cold shower at a school, I think. And but as they're leaving, she actually ends up running into Ryuji, the high school guy that helped her.
Right, that she's fantasizing about,
This
or
whole
has had the hallucinations out being the one who's going to save her.
Yeah, but he's married now. His wife has she's pregnant.
Yep.
And they're trying to be like, "It's cold, like come to our house and dry up." And they're like, no. And at this point, Leo invites Yuri. He's like, "You have nowhere to go, so if you don't mind a dirty room, you can come live with me.
Right. Yep.
And and so she's like, yeah, I want to live my best life now. So we get this whole montage of him training for his next fight, winning his next fight. Meanwhile, Yuri is in her own battle as she is trying to get clean.
Go through the DTs, yep.
Which is, it's pretty rough. I was like, yeah, see, I'd never want to do those type of drugs. And it just ends with us seeing them coming out of their apartment.
Right, yep.
Yeah, hopefully, they're going into their apartment. And, hopefully they live a decent life after that.
Right. Happily ever after, yeah.
Right? All right, so before we break down some of our favorite parts of this movie, let's go to our other segment, high star, low star. Kobe, go. There's that right there.
Boom. So we got Ben giving us 5 out of 5 stars. A good stepping stone of a movie to start your journey into watching foreign films. If I had to describe this film, it's a mix between Tarantino film and a Guy Ritchie film. I know Tarantino borrowed a lot from Japanese cinema, so I can take pause in comparing it to one of his films, but you can tell that there's a great attempt of Japanese director trying to reach across the aisle and appeal to a Western audience. The strong points in this movie are the characters, and they are fleshed out well. If you are curious of stepping into the world of non-Hollywood films, this is a good starting point. I have friends who say that they don't watch foreign films, but after they saw this, they are now seeing that other countries make good films.
Like I said, man, the 1-inch barrier, right?
Right?
Or Park. Oh God, I forgot his name now. The director of the Parasite movie.
Yeah.
I thought I had it to my tongue. All right, and then we have one from Arthur. 1 out of 5. Major letdown. This movie was a waste of money. I came into it with high expectations as Takashi Miike can make some wild and crazy films. Well, this one's trash. It was boring. Was a poor example of a good yakuza movie, missing a lot of action, and would have loved some over-the-top gore. But this film lacks in everything Takashi Miike. Just watch the trailer of the film. Those are the only good parts. Just save the money, and I'll never have high expectations for this director again. Also, don't trust Rotten Tomato tags of films. Doesn't mean it's good. Boo!
Boo, Arthur.
Boo, you suck. How could you say, like, this director has 500 films? How could you say you can't have high expectations? It just wasn't your cup of tea. I get that, but I think the storytelling for this movie was pretty solid. Because it could get bogged down with that many storylines going.
But I thought they did a great job, like, with the character development and you putting those stories together. I thought they did a great job. Like, boring. It wasn't boring.
Yeah, maybe you just have a terrible attention
I mean, like,
span.
I guess if you had, like, followed, like, H.G. the Killer with this movie,
That's two different movies.
Right. I'm like, and you're expecting this to be like that. But yeah, directors, not every the director doesn't make every film the same. That would be terrible.
Yeah, and plus this guy has 500 movies. If they were just all what you were expecting, then everyone would be tired of his films.
Right. So
this is just him trying something out. The gore wasn't all over the top, but it was pretty realistic for the situation.
Right.
I think the goriest part in here is we get is like the couple beheadings that we get.
Right. Yep. We get a couple of beheadings.
Yeah. So like, yeah, if you're coming off like just watching things like Audition and Ichi the Killer, yeah, this is going to be a disappointment if you were expecting over the top gore, but I don't think the movie, even the trailer, I don't even think markets it this way.
Right. Yeah. I didn't get that at all from the trailer.
Yeah. So boo, Arthur, boo. So Colby, what were some of your favorite parts of this film?
I really liked the pimp's girlfriend. Julie. Like, yeah. she was kick ass. Like she beat people up. She's like just like nope. I'm coming with you. He killed my he killed the pimp. It was my boyfriend. So I'm killing him.
Yeah.
And then she just crowbar rest of the show, just dragging a crowbar around.
Yeah, very Harley Quinnish, right? Oh yeah, no. The moment I knew I liked that chick was when she reached out and presented some juices. I was like, oh, she's crazy. It's such a good scene just because she was using all the weapons at her disposal. She's like, I think I could take this guy down. I just need him to lower his guard just a little bit.
Right. Oh yeah.
And if
just
I have
a little,
and
then she just beat his ass.
Oh yeah, she stomps on his skull, and she's still mad. She's like, you can't die out of this situation.
Right. And then she strangles him with her pants because he made her take her pants off. And then she gets mad and she's like, oh, you're dead and you bled on my pants. Now I can't wear them.
Yeah, she's great. One of my other favorite characters is Kase. He's just such a shitty criminal.
Right.
All of his entire plan kept falling apart and he kept going. So you can't fault that resiliency.
Yeah. So much stuff that he didn't expect. Cause you're watching the yakuza guy follow him around from the shadows, and you're like, oh, the yakuza must know that he's got this plan to steal their drugs, and it turns out that he's actually a double agent, and he's actually working for the Chinese as the infiltrator of the.
Yeah, and then so he he tries to propose a split. He's like, let me take 4 bags, you could take 6.
Yeah.
But when he doesn't go for it, he's like, surprise, freaking tased him. And then he sets up his head right underneath the wheel of the G-Wagon he's driving. And he's all like, oh man, how many bodies does this make today? He's just like, oh, I keep killing people by accident. Oh man, and I gotta say though, him decking the old lady was the best part of the movie. It's so sad. It's just because it comes out of left field, right? And you're just like, holy shit, he just decked the fuck out of this old lady. And then she dies. One of the only things I wish we can get a little bit more of. I think we got a good amount of Leo time. Mm-hmm. But I would have liked to seen a little bit more. Just I wanted to see him be a little bit more of a badass with his boxing, because he really exhausted himself with that last fight. But that guy knew kung fu or something. He was doing flips.
Yeah.
Oh man, I also love the sword fight.
One-armed Wong. I like that his weapon of choice is a shotgun, a pump shotgun, and he's only got one arm.
Yeah, man, it's kind of reminiscent of when you saw Arnold always. He had that little freaking flippy sawed-off shotgun.
Yep.
It's kind of like that, but it's funny to see this one-armed guy use the shotgun that way.
Right.
And I was like, he should have something a little bit easier.
Right, because they have shotguns that you don't have to pump. That just auto load like a handgun does.
I also don't understand, how is he reloading that?
Apparently he's got to put it down and then just hold it with his feet. I don't know,
like an old school bayonet
under his arm.
Yeah, right. So I feel like a better weapon for him would be a Uzi, a Mac-10, something semi-automatic, easier,
right.
to reload. But no, he was just no, the shotgun instills more fear.
It does. It's loud and it's boomstick.
Oh man, yeah, this movie is a ton of fun just because this movie goes in so many directions at once, and then it's able to go to this center point of the movie where it all collides together.
Right.
And it feels cohesive.
Right. Yep.
Like, it doesn't feel like jarring because all the plan just comes back together. And yeah. Oh, one of the other funny things too is as all of this action goes down the last 40 minutes, Kase is constantly rubbing the drugs back into his wound. Like throughout this general store fight, he gets shot like 6 times.
Right.
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh my god, it doesn't hurt." But then he's like constantly rubbing the drugs back into his system, and it's an open wound, and all this drug.
and then his arm gets chopped off, and he's like, "Ow!"
That hurts a little bit.
It hurts a little, I think.
And he's way too busy trying to get the gun out of his chopped off arm. He's like, "Let go." Yeah. And then he gets his head chopped off. Oh man. And he's smiling out of that whole situation.
Yeah.
So that's pretty hilarious. Yeah, just so much death happens in the last 40 minutes. Like it almost feels at times on my first run through, I was like, this dragged a little bit for like the first hour. And then like not to the point where I was like bored, but I was like, oh man, when's things gonna happen? And then it really is like a nice exclamation point when Leo decks the officer. I was like, oh, this is like the point where like I think all the action is finally gonna kick in,
Right.
which it does. How did you like the relationship between Leo and Yuri?
It was good. I mean, like it felt natural, even though she's coming off of like drugs and he's moping because he's just assuming he's dying. It seemed like a natural flow of relationship building between the two of them.
Right, because I think there's also like that nice kindredship that they have because they both have like hard pass.
Yeah.
And so maybe they could also feel that with each other.
Right. And then so funny part, she's getting tormented by like the hallucinations of her father chasing her in her underwear. And so he's like, Leo's like, well, just don't look at him and he won't scare you. And then he puts the music in her headphones in. And so she's like listening to the music and all of a sudden like the ghost of her, or like the hallucination of her dad, starts dancing, but it's like this weird guy dancing in the subway in his underwear. And she starts laughing.
Yeah, but she's like also crying out of fear.
Right. Yep.
So it's like a weird, like if I was in that trade, I'd be like, what the fuck is going on with him? Did he just break up with her?
And Leo's like, I wish I could see what you're seeing, but I'm glad I can't.
All right. Even like what's it called? Even when they get to the house, he thinks he's hallucinating when the Chinese gang member pulls out a gun.
Oh, right. Yeah. 'Cause he even says it. He's like, oh, now I'm hallucinating.
Right. And he probably thinks it's because of the tumor that's maybe
right. Yep.
doing something. But he's like, oh shit, that's a real gun. And the initial shock that he has is like when he's like fighting over this gun, he shoots the original gun holder, and then the other guy he shoots in the thigh, and then he gets ran over by this van. I think that's like a classic little Takashi Miike little sequencing right there.
Yep.
But yeah, this. Oh man.
And one of the funny like favorite things was like the so when he punches and kills the old lady, and he doesn't know how to get rid of, like, now it's 2 bodies. So he's like, I'm gonna burn the house down, but I can't burn it down while I'm in here. So he sets up like this little like wind up like yapping dog to walk over, or like walk across the room, knock over some candles into some gasoline to light the house on fire, but that's like too quick. So he's like got the the dog like tethered to like a incense stick, and the incense stick is like slowly burning down.
Yeah, I was like, I saw
like
that
you said,
scene.
it was like Home Alone, kind of like.
Like as I saw that setup, I was like, "Oh, is this thing not gonna like set on fire?" Because I didn't know exactly the situation they're going for.
Right.
So I was like, "Is this just not?" I thought it was one of those. Also, I thought it was one of those flipping dogs.
Oh, that would have worked just as well. But yeah.
No, yeah, that was a good little setup. But yeah, this movie is just pretty wild. That I think, hopefully the people that listen to us have already watched this.
Yeah.
Or if you haven't and you listen to this episode, hopefully you guys still end up watching this movie. Just because like we there's so much going on in this film that we really can't cover it all.
Yeah, there's just a ton of like little small things in this movie that we didn't cover. You got to watch it to see them all. There's things that we can't describe.
Right. And so especially if you're just a fan of Takashi Miike films, you're definitely going to want to watch this film anyway. And you'll still be surprised by all the little things that we weren't able to really cover on this episode.
And like the review that I read, like the 5-star review, this is great. Like this is a great. It's not over the top. It's not just super crazy. It's got a good story. It's got good character development. Yeah, if you're getting somebody into watching, foreign films, Japanese films, I think this would definitely be one you could show people. You're not going to scare them off. You're not going to bore them. You're not going to, it gives you a good example of what a foreign film could be.
Yeah, because I'm going to tell you right now, you don't want to start off your friend on Audition.
Right. Yep.
Because that movie definitely drags. And then you also don't want to start them off on Ichi the Killer. Because that one is so over the top. It's hilarious, but it can be jarring for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of scenes in that film that are like, no. That is not a good thing to put on screen. You've watched it, right?
Oh, yeah. I own that movie, too.
Oh, so I need to get it on Blu-ray. That's like one of the films I have to get on Blu-ray. All right, guys. Well, we're coming down to the hour-long episode of ours, and so we want to thank you guys for joining. If this is the first time you guys are joining us, thank you. The way that we do our reviews are in 4 sections. We have Stream It, DVD it, Blu-ray it, and the ultimate Takashi Miike. No, that's unfair.
It's a
freaking collector box.
Yeah, that's a whole streaming channel.
Oh, right. You could just have a whole stream service of just Takashi Miike movies.
If Full Moon Studios can have their own streaming station, this guy can.
Do you have it yet?
I don't. Most of the stuff is on other things. Like Shudder has almost all the Full Moon movies and stuff. So
I just figured you might have had that whole collection already.
I have very little.
Like, was it Demonic Toys, Doll Man,
Puppet Master
1 through 8?
I've seen a ton of them, but I don't own.
And then you got to remember all the crossovers.
Yeah. Yes.
All right. So
King
Colby,
of the crossovers right there.
So Colby, where are you at for this one?
I really enjoyed this. I would definitely pick this up Blu-ray.
Yeah.
Yeah. This I could get some rewatches out of this.
Right, show it to, like, you could show it to people that aren't really used to like the gore of Japanese cinema, and This is like a nice little ease in. It's a gateway Takashi Miike movie. I mean, he definitely has like other good ones. Like 13 Assassins is a solid samurai film.
Right. Yep.
I love that film. Have you seen it, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's a great film, but this is great because it's a little bit of a love story, a little bit of a yakuza story. Some drugs, a drama at certain points. So you get a nice little mixture of everything that you love in cinema.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. It was, that was a good explanation. Yep. Thanks for listening, guys.
Yeah.
And Barry doesn't edit these, so yeah, you get my mumbling. Great.
Yeah, I got a full-time job now, so it's good. But yeah, thank you guys for joining us today. Check out our show notes. We have our Amazon affiliate links if you guys want to help support us. That would be awesome. We have a little bar for our spicy chicken sandwich meter for the amount of people that use our Amazon affiliate links. And we're almost there, guys.
We're going for supersize.
You know, with the side of Big Mac sauce. Oh, man.
Eventually, we'll get to 2 sandwiches, so Barry and I don't have to split a meal. But definitely, you know, let us know what you think. Facebook's probably the easiest way to get a hold of us and to like and share. And all our new episodes, we always post them on that as soon as we put them up, so you know when they're up. Once a week, every week.
And we know how many fans we have on that site. Those fans should reflect the numbers of our listeners.
Right.
But thank you for being a fan, like, for real. All right, guys. Thank you guys for joining us. My name is Barry.
This is Colby.
And this is Who Watches This. If you guys want to check out who does our theme music, it is Lee Rosevere. It's called Arcade Montage. It's on her album Music for Podcast 3, and her Bandcamp is down below.
Thank you.